Hello, my name is Michael Smith, and this is my life. Today is Tuesday, June the 6th of 2017. So for yesterday, I learned that things don't always go the way you want them to. I mean, I knew that before, but like yesterday was an example of that. I prayed for humility recently, and I've been getting humbled. But it's one thing. You pray for humility, and you get humbled. But how do you take it? Do you walk away with it? It's kind of like humility. My realization yesterday is humility is a gift. You know, it could be like this is a story I've heard a couple times now, but there was this young man and his father, and the young man went up to his father and was like, hey, if you really love me, my birthday's coming up, I'd really like what the car I've always wanted. And the dad's like, well, what's the car you always wanted? And he's like, well, it's a brand new red Porsche. And dad's like, oh, well, how much is that? And it's like $95,000 or something like that. And so the birthday comes around, and the son is receiving gifts from his family, and he's really anxious to get the gift from his father. He finally gets the gift from his father. It's this rectangular, maybe it looks like a box or something, and he's hoping that keys to a brand new red Porsche will be in there. And he opens it, and he quickly realizes that it's not keys to a Porsche. It's a book. And he gets upset, and he stomps off, and he goes to his room, and he takes the gift. It's not even completely open. He throws it against the wall and crashes out in his bed and just cries and weeps and is upset. Next day he gets up. He's still really upset because he didn't get what he wanted for his birthday, and he heads out and goes to school without even saying goodbye to his family or anything. Middle of the school day, the principal comes and pulls him out of class and informs him that his dad's had a massive heart attack. And so he goes to the hospital. He rushes to the hospital to see his father and sits by his bedside and cries and weeps because the last words he said to his father were, his words of disgust over the gift that he didn't even open all the way. And so he leaves to go get something to drink. And while he's gone, his father dies. And he comes back, and he's just full of remorse. He goes home. He lays on his bed. And as he's laying there, he sees the unopened present. So he goes over and he picks up the gift. And he unwraps it, and it's a Bible. And he opens up the front cover, and it says, the secret to all life's problems and life's issues are in here. I hope you have a wonderful life. And so the son decides he's going to flip open the Bible to see if maybe he can find some words of wisdom in this moment of tragedy. And as he's flipping through the Bible trying to figure out where he's going to look, it seems like there's a bookmark, and he's thinking maybe that's the thing. And he flips open to that page where the bookmark is at. It's not a bookmark. It's a check for $95,000. Sometimes we're given gifts like humility, and we don't see them for what they are. I know a lot of times I've been humbled in the past, and I did not see the beauty in it at all. I got up yesterday and I was running late, and there's this paperwork I had to file at work for my vacation at work so that I could get paid for my leave of absence because I had a new baby. And I was having trouble with that, and it wasn't working out the way I wanted to. It wasn't working the way I wanted it to. And so I ended up running late because I was trying to solve the issue right then and there. And so then I ended up going to church. I went to church yesterday morning because I'm Catholic. We have church every day. And I went to church, and I found some peace there. And so then I left, and I decided I wanted to build my son a T-ball stand because he's showing a little bit of interest in playing baseball, and I'm not really a sports guy, but I want to support my children in their desires, and to see if it's something that he's going to grow with. So I wanted to make him a t-ball stand, so I went to go get some of the supplies I needed to get the t-ball stand, and I got it, and I'm very much about, I'm kind of stingy. Well, let's just put it that way. I'm stingy, so I don't carry a lot of cash, because from my youth I found that when I carry a lot of cash, I spend a lot of cash. So then my wife asked me to go to the store and pick up a few things while I was in town for lunch. And so I had bought a couple of pieces at the hardware store for the t-ball stand. When I got to the store, she wanted me to get a few things. And when I got the things, I realized it was going to cost more than $10, and $10 was all I had in my on my person. So reluctantly, I went ahead and decided to get out my wallet, and I was going to use my debit card, which I really don't like using my debit card because it's way too easy to spend money like that. And I've got this whole plan for being fiscally secure, and like I said, I'm stingy. And so I open up my wallet, and I look in the back of my wallet, and there's $1. Well, the total was $10.99. So then I get home, and I'm like, well, I had just enough money, in my pocket to buy lunch and buy a couple pieces of meat. It turned out the pieces I bought weren't the right thing to do what I wanted to do. Because I was in such a hurry, I didn't investigate like I should have. So then I'm like trying to go through the materials that I have in my shop, and I find some other stuff, and I find what I need. I was like, okay, I can make it with what I have here. I start making the t-ball stand, and then one of my power tools, it starts smoking. It locks up and it starts smoking, and I'm just like, you gotta be kidding me. So I'm derailed. So now I'm taking apart this power tool to clean it out and figure out what the problem is. And then I get that done, and this whole time I just wanted to come down to my studio and work on a song, right? So I get down in the studio, I start making a little bit of headway, and my 8-year-old son comes down, and he wants to work on this other project. And I keep talking to him. I talk to him I was like, honey, you come up with all these projects that you want to do. And I was like, the problem is if it takes longer than 5 minutes, you lose interest. And so then you have all these either sloppily made projects, or you have you have a bunch of half-done projects. I was like, let's focus on doing something. And so I finally got the paperwork issue for work resolved. And I got a couple other things resolved real quick about, because I had to get a hold of somebody about helping with a prison physio. And so, which is a retreat encounter kind of type weekend. And this one's going to be at a prison, which I really didn't want to do, but I felt like God was calling me to do it. So I contacted the guy who contacted me about possibly doing it, and got back with him. And my whole day was just doing stuff I didn't want to do. It wasn't in my will, right? So we go out, and I help my son finish one of his projects that he started a long time ago. Now, he could have finished it on his own, and I told him how to do it, and I showed him how to do it, and it was just a matter of him doing it. Well, he is little, and he needed help. Not that he really needed help, but to get the project done, he was going to need me to be there with him. So again, I'm humbled, and I take time out of my day, and I helped him finish his project, or at least to the point where he could just paint the woodworking project that he wanted to work on. He needed to sand some stuff and whatever. So then I realized that, I had all this stuff out, and I was like, I realized that my father-in-law he had a couple of 2x4s that he wanted notches put into so that you could use it as a rack on his wall, just as a simple rack to hold fishing rods. And I knew if I did, I knew I might as well do it right then and there. I was like, I'm already interrupted, blah, 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 whatever. So I it didn't turn out exactly the way I would have wanted to, but I hope that it at least turns out the way that he wanted it to, and I did the best job I possibly could on doing it. I'm not really a woodworker, a great woodworker, or whatever. Um, I usually have to fail 2 or 3 times before I actually get the result that I desire. But I got that done for him. And just thing after thing after thing, you know. And so finally, at the end of the day, I sit down to work on this song for this guy. He sent me some lyrics and wanted me to make a song out of it. And I had a major breakthrough and actually got some really good stuff done. But the funny thing is, even working on that song, I was like reading through the lyrics, and it was like, oh yeah, okay, yeah, I see where the song's going. I see where the song's going. And I was writing the song as I was reading his lyrics, and then I get to the last couple of lines, and I'm like, oh wow, this isn't the type of song I thought it was at all. And so I went all the way back up to the top, and I like, it wasn't a major overhaul, but it's just, you know, how do you take that? You know, how do you take things that happen in your life? For me, I learned yesterday how important it is to pause and to just pick up and accept what is laid at my feet and find peace and happiness in it. And instead of getting frustrated or whatever, you know, I just chuckle about it and be like, okay, we're on a new adventure today. So, I don't know. I don't know how you handle things like that. But, you know, what really blew my mind was, despite all of the roadblocks, I still got some amazing work done, and I had a lot of fun. So, yeah, I hope that you have a great day. In the name of the Father, and the Son, and the Holy Spirit, amen. God, this life is amazing, and I thank you for another day to partake in it. I pray that you help each and every one of us this day see the beauty in everything that happens, and help us to make the most of what we have and to not squander a moment. I love you so very much, God. Hey, lay everything at your feet. Take what you want to take, give what you want to give. I'm ready for a ride. Amen. In the name of the Father, and the Son, and the Holy Spirit. Amen. And that's all I got to say about that.